Ray Allen is ready to come out of retirement, and we know why. A Boston Globe reporter said on CSN New England, Allen doesn't enjoy watching Steph Curry draining threes and wants to extend his three-point record to prevent Curry from breaking it. So looking at the all-time leaders in three-point buckets, Allen is currently 1,380 ahead of Curry. Steph has over 400 three-pointers last season, meaning that Curry could theoretically pass Allen within the next 5 seasons. Stephen A., how senseless is this reasoning for Allen's comeback?
It's not senseless at all. It's just unrealistic. There's a difference. There's no way in hell that Steph Curry is not going to pass his record. Steph Curry's only 27, 28 years of age. He's got about another decade in this business, assuming his ankles hold up. And when you are a sniper, the way that he is, in the system that Golden State employs, there is no way on earth that Ray Allen is not going to get caught. Steph Curry will ultimately surpass him unless he gets injured. But if you're Ray Allen, the reason why it's not beyond the realm of comprehension is because you already got him by 1,000. Injuries could happen. If you're Ray Allen and you go into the right place, you can still shoot the basketball, get your shot off, and make the path towards usurping your numbers more realistic and more difficult. So I don't think that this is Ray Allen that we're talking about here, one of the greatest shooters in NBA history. What he's counting on is time working on his side. Get a few more threes in there, and then Steph Curry's going to have to stick around a little bit longer to catch me. That's what he's hoping.
Quickly, if Ray Allen wants to say, hey, I want to play till they tear the uniform off me, and I retired 2 years ago, but I'm ready to come back. Good for him. It's not a full contact sport. You're not getting tackled. You're not getting punched. It's not a combat sport. You should play basketball until they won't pay you to do it anymore. And even then, I get that. But the Steph Curry thing is misguided. Not only is he highly unlikely to stave Steph Curry off as many threes as they take nowadays, and as well as Steph Curry shoots it, but the memory of Ray Allen, he shot 37 and change % from three when last seen 2 years ago, getting wide open looks, which means that's not so good for him. It's not what he was in his prime. And the memory people will be left with is that he wasn't as good a shooter, these kids who see him shoot now, as he actually was. So not only is he not going to hold the all-time record eventually, so he's going to fail there to stave off Steph, but the last impression he's going to leave is that, you know, like, you're going to have to explain to kids watching him now, yeah, I know it looks like he shoots okay. You don't know what it looked like when he was 27 years old.
He's going to go to Golden State and take the threes from Steph.
I doubt
There's nothing
that.
he can do. He's shooting a million threes a game now.
It's a joke, people.
There's
Ray
nothing
Allen
he
from
can do.
UConn, my favorite player of all time. No, but it'll be interesting to see. I don't know if I really believe the reasoning, though. I think it might be a little bit, just wants to get a little more money because he knows he can.
Play the game as long as you can. Why not?
I don't think it's just the record.
It's not. He's class personified. He's smart.
It's the record, then.
And he's one of those guys that wanted to step away from the game because it taxed him.
Greatest shooter of all time still?
Ray Allen?
Yep.
I wouldn't say the greatest shooter of all time, but he's one of them.
Shuttlesworth.
He's one of them. Jesus Shuttlesworth.
No question.
Steph is here.
John Saunders, one of the familiar on-air faces on ESPN for nearly 30 years, has died. Saunders covered college football, basketball, and the NHL for the network, in addition to hosting SportsCenter and most recently, the Sports Reporters. He was born in Canada. Saunders was an all-star defensive man in junior hockey leagues of Montreal before becoming one of the most prominent broadcasters of his time. He was also a founding board member of the Jimmy V Foundation for Cancer Research, named for his longtime college basketball partner. Saunders was 61. Stephen A., obviously we just heard this news, and I know clearly you're very emotional and close to him. I want to say I'm sorry, and how will you remember John?
I can't, he was a big brother. He's a father figure. I'm sitting here in shock. We just got the news. Thank you. We just got the news. He went to the NABJ last week. I couldn't make it because we were on the road for First Take. I was supposed to see him. We're going to hook up for dinner in a couple of weeks. He had health issues from years ago. Had a bad accident as well, bad fall. He was recuperating throughout the years. Health ebbed and flowed. But somehow, some way, he always had the strength to give guys like myself the level of guidance, that big brother that we all needed. We talk a lot about great individuals that have worked at this company, especially my man Stuart Scott, who I still miss to this day. But I always called John Saunders the Godfather because he was one of the originals. When you think about ESPN, so many times we think about Chris Berman and we think about Dick Vitale as well as we should. Bob Lee, I call individuals like that the institution. Tom Jackson as well. But John Saunders was one of those guys. We worked together on NBA Countdown years ago. We always kept in touch. He always was a mentor and an advisor. He meant so much to me. I'm so incredibly sorry for his family right now and his loved ones. I really don't know what to say. I'm not used to being in this position. Usually you have some time to reflect and things of that nature. I just got the news a couple minutes ago. I'm shocked. I can't believe it. I know how much he loved the sports reporters, being a part of that show. I know how much he loved being a part of the V Foundation and its fight against cancer. I know how much he loved working for this network, this company, Walt Disney, ABC. I don't think anybody truly realizes what we lost today. He was a phenomenal, phenomenal man. He was a father figure. He was a big brother. He was a mentor. He was an advisor. He was somebody that had been in this business for 40 years. He adamantly believed in being a pioneer and paving the way for individuals like myself and so many others, keeping this company's eyes on the prize as it pertained to giving African Americans opportunities in this business and at this company. Stuart Scott might not be here if it were not for John Saunders. Might not have been here had it not been for John Saunders. It's just a devastating loss, and I'm gonna miss my brother. I'm gonna miss him a lot.
He's such a class act, and he's a staple. And I know, like you, Max, I started at ESPN right out of college at 22. And one of the first shows I ever worked on was College Football Live. And John Saunders was the guy. He was hosting it. And, you know, you're a nervous wreck. You're starting out. And obviously, he's one of the top talent, the big shot. And just in terms of how he ingratiated me, welcomed me, giving me feedback, he didn't need to do that type of thing, and just showing his character. And then when I left here and went to CBS in New York, I worked with his daughter, Aaliyah. And I just know the relationship, how much he adored his daughters and how much Aaliyah and his sister absolutely adored him. My heart is breaking for them and, you know, for the entire family. And she has a very bright future also in this industry. And of course, just, yeah, class act. In my own personal interactions with him is he went out of his way for no, you know, when he wasn't getting anything out of it. And those kind of people that really make the difference for us along the way. And it breaks my heart to Stephen A. see you so upset as well. But we lost a legend. We lost a great one in the media industry.
I didn't have that kind of interaction or relationship with him, just in passing through the years. He's the kind of guy that makes this a great place to work. A lot of good people here, and he was one of them. I know you got emotional as soon as it happened, and Stephen A. has kind of been a mess, you know, and been holding it together on the air in the last segment. And that's a tribute, I think, to the kind of man he... It's always strange to refer to someone in the past tense when they just passed, but the kind of man he was, that he has this kind of an emotional impact on and left that kind of impression on the people with whom he was close. And by the way, a terrific broadcaster.
Of course,
which, you know,
one of the great ones on and off the air.
Yeah.
He could do anything.
No, everything.
He could do anything.
Any sport.
Everything.
Yep.
He loved hockey. You know, he was a proud Canadian.
Yes.
You know, always tried to get me to talk about hockey. Every chance he got, you know, actually I told him there's no chance in hell I can't pull it off. But he was just that guy, and we lost somebody special.
We did, a great one. And I'm sorry, Stephen A. John Skipper, president of ESPN, co-chairman of Disney Media Networks, had a statement. I'll share that with you. John was an extraordinary talent, and his friendly, informative style has been a warm welcome to sports fans for decades. His wide range of accomplishments across numerous sports and championship events is among the most impressive this industry has ever seen. More importantly, John was a beloved and devoted family man who cared deeply about people and causes, as evidenced by his long-standing efforts as a passionate board member for the V Foundation for Cancer Research. He was one of the most significant and influential members of the ESPN family as a colleague and mentor, and he will be sorely missed. Our thoughts are with his loved ones at this extremely difficult time. John Saunders has passed at the age of 61.